I'm sitting here today in the White House to pass the 18th Amendment. This amendment bans the sale, transportation, and production of alcohol in the United States of America. Although we are signing this bill today, Prohibition will not go into effect until January of 1920.
I'm standing here today with President Warren G. Harding. Mr. President, be level with me. I would like to ask you some questions.
What is it you'd like to know?
Mr. Harding, how has Congress reacted so far to the passing of this keen new amendment, preventing people from becoming intoxicated?
Well, they have been getting in lather about it, but I don't see the issue with it.
Now, Mr. President, why do you think making the sale, transportation, and production of alcohol legal is a step in the right direction for the American people and the economy?
This bill will lower crime and drum up more business for theaters and real estate companies. Because people aren't drinking alcohol, they will need a new form of entertainment, such as movie theaters. And because saloons will be closing down, the neighborhoods will be much safer and better, making more housing sales and increasing real estate agencies' business. Because of the lack of the vice that many people saw in alcohol, chewing gum, soda pop, and grape juice companies all have expected rises in their sales.
Do you believe that this will drum up some more dough?
I believe that because the American people will not be under the influence of alcohol, they can spend their time and money more wisely and respectfully, such as working and buying goods at shops and markets instead of drinking at a saloon or even at home.
What about the breweries left holding the bag?
No comment, sir. No further questions. Go chase yourself.
Hey Johnny, did you hear about this new prohibition thing that just got passed?
I did. My boys and I are thinking about smuggling some hooch around the Chicago area. Would you be interested?
Sure would, boss.
I'm not going to beat my gams about this, but I want to see you there, Al. I know my onions, and I think you can make it big in this business.
Why do you want to go to Chicago anyway, Johnny?
My uncle, Big Jim, is a real big cheese in Chicago, if you know what I'm saying.
I got you, Johnny, but why does he need you?
Well, he got into the business of collecting pizzo from the people in the area. Where the deal he gave me is, if I come over there to bump off a couple of guys, then he'll pay me.
What if you guys get pinched? Is that all you'd get from killing a few fellas?
Well, hopefully he'll invite me back to Chicago and give me a position in his business.
I'd definitely be interested in something like that. You know what? Give me a call in a few years if you get into that sort of thing.
Sure thing, Al. Take care.
Hey honey, hit me with the double. Sure thing, doll. What's with that outfit of yours? Seen around this here juice joint, but I never asked you about it. Oh, you see, doll, I'm a flapper. I'm the new hip girl of the 1920s, and I'm here to get wasted. I know all about this here speakeasy. I've been coming here since it first opened at the beginning of Prohibition. I was here when you boys moved from the alley to underneath that nice restaurant above. I was here when the badge busted you and the guys, and you had to shut down the bootlegging for a while. You're so smart. Tell me what bootlegger the hooch came from. Well, I know that you usually get the goods from the famous Chicago bootlegger Al Capone. False. Well, I got this stuff from Dean O'Baney. He's the leader of the North Side, Capone's South Side. He lowered the prices, and I got to thinking, if I'm gonna break the law, I better make some dough out of it. Well, it sure tastes good. So how come many flappers are popping up these days? And why do they always show up to my juice joint? Because we flappers are proud women who don't have the same responsibilities and expectations of earlier women. We can smoke, drink, and wear scandalous clothing out in public. Since hooch is illegal now, I prefer to come to speakeasies like this one. At the beginning of Prohibition, when all the saloons and bars closed down, I was in shock and grief. But then you opened up your establishment and serving hooch and finger foods for us flappers to drink and snack on. Since then, I've been a real fine flapper. Sure do know your stuff. But do you know all about bootlegging and how we get the hooch? No, I don't actually. Want to tell me about it? So here it is. Our main supplier is Al Capone. He makes his own throughout his vast system of breweries and distilleries. Now that we're using O'Baney's liquor, which he smuggled in across the Canadian border, it's a bit cheaper. I do know that on the East Coast and the Southern Coast, many bootleggers get their stuff from the Bahamas and Cuba. The only bad thing about all of this illegal hooch and bootlegging is the gang violence.
Wow, look at all this hooch.
Hey boss, you make a bunch of dough off this.
Mr. O'Banion. My name is Frankie Yale. We have a message from your business rival, Mr. Capone.
Mr. Who? Ah!
Good job today, boys. Now let's get out of here before the badge shows up.
A bar fight has erupted in the middle of Southside Chicago at an underground speakeasy. Several men from the notorious gang run by Al Capone and several men from the late Dean O'Banion's gang are involved in the conflict. This violence supposedly has erupted from the controversial murder of the famous Northside gang member leader Dean O'Banion. O'Banion was assumed to have been killed by the Al Capone gang, but the authorities have no solid evidence against him. O'Banion was last seen in a flower shop when 3 men stormed in and shot him multiple times. 6 shots to be exact. The identities of the men are unknown. He was reported dead at the scene when the authorities arrived. Back to terms about the current fight, however, our chief reporter is out right now getting information for tomorrow's broadcast from the gang members themselves. Good night, and stay classy, Southside Chicago.
You drank all my hooch.
You drink it all
Don't talk to me that way.
Hey, you're out of here. You're out of here.
Get out.
Let's go.
Get out.
Get him out. Get out and stay out.
I'm standing here outside an illegal juice joint with a Zoozle gang member who was just thrown out. Sir, do you feel that hooch has made you a more violent person?
Well, sir, I believe that making hooch illegal has done nothing but good. You see here, I'm in a gang, and I'm not proud of it, but you gotta get dough somehow. So as I was saying, Prohibition has given me and my boys the opportunity to get involved in some illegal alcoholic business. So nothing good has really come out of Prohibition. All that came out of it is gang violence and drug and abusive men, such as myself. Oh, and a shout out to that women's newly won right to vote. Atta girls.
Good morning, Mr. Ness. I've come here to speak about the raging gang violence in our city of Chicago.
Yes, indeed. I have recently received a tip about organized crime in the city. I've heard that Al Capone's gang has been making some major plans.
Jeepers creepers!
How will we ever stop them? They're such a powerful gang.
I have an idea. The best thing we can do is try to take down their leader. Capone is the head of the whole operation. They will have no idea what to do without him. After we take him down, the whole gang will crumble down right before our eyes.
Great idea, Pauline. Let's get right to it.
I'm sitting here outside of an FBI stakeout with Miss Pauline Sabin. Pauline, may I call you that? Who are you and what do you stand for?
Well, sir, my name is Pauline Sabin. I was born into a rich family in Chicago, Illinois, and now I live in New York as the head of the Women's Organization for National Prohibition Reform, which I formed. When Prohibition first started, I felt very obligated to go along with it. But after seeing the corruption and crime it brought to America, I immediately felt an overwhelming need to repeal it. I see politicians almost every day vote and fight for stricter enforcement of Prohibition. Then half an hour later, they're drinking hooch, cocktails with their friends. While law is hardly even enforced, if anything, the creation of Prohibition in an attempt to stop crime has increased crime through bootlegging and gang violence. The hypocrisy of the whole thing just astounds me.
What makes you feel so strongly about this topic?
When the Volstead Act, or Prohibition as most everyone calls it, first started, I thought a world without hooch would be a beautiful world, a crime-free world. A world where my 2 sons could live a worry-free life, safe from the dangers of hooch and the addiction and poverty it brings with it. The children. When I thought of Prohibition, I thought it would help keep the children more safe. Instead, the number of regular children getting zoozled is increasing. The children see their parents and elders drinking illegally, so they not only develop a tolerance for hooch, but they also develop a tolerance for breaking the law and blatantly going against the United States Constitution.
What does your organization, the WONPR, do to fight for the repeal of Prohibition?
We helped our cause become viability in the press. We also made it more acceptable for the public to be opposed to Prohibition.
Well, thank you for your time, Ms. Paul Sebedine. I'm glad for what you're doing to help end Prohibition. You guys ready? Don't keep your guns unwrapped until we get in there.
We're not stupid. We've been doing this for years. We know how to bump off a couple guys.
Yeah, Tommy, shut up.
Let's go already. Boss is waiting.
Hey, police, I'm
Wait, against the wall. Let's go. Back against the wall. Come on.
Stand up straight. Up against the wall.
I've been away from you a long time.
Please open up.
Oh no.
Al Capone, you've been found guilty of tax evasion as well as several members of your alleged gang. You will be tried, and if sentenced, will go to Alcatraz prison. Take him away, boys.
All rise, the Honorable Judge Wilkerson. You may be seated.
Mr. Capone, you have been tried and found guilty by the consent of the court on March 27, 1931. You were arrested in Philadelphia for the possession of a concealed weapon. Now you're on charges for tax evasion.
I plead guilty to the tax evasion charges.
Let it be known that Al Capone has been sentenced to 11 years in prison and will have to pay back his debts.
I ended up getting the short straw, but it wasn't as bad as my buddies. Frankie Yale, the guy that helped me kill O'Banion, met his fate by 4 guys in a black sedan. I heard he was told his wife was sick at home and rushed off to see her, but those 4 guys shot him dead. Torrio got caught the same way I did, for tax evasion, and landed in jail for a few years. Luckily, Prohibition ended, but that wasn't the death of the Chicago mob. No, it wasn't.
Prohibition ended in 1933 when Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the 21st Amendment, which repealed the 18th Amendment. This was part of Roosevelt's New Deal policy. Some states continued Prohibition laws. Mississippi was the last state to finally outlaw Prohibition in 1966. The juice joints closed down and the bars reopened. Notorious gangsters like Bugs Marin, Johnny Torrio, and Al Capone faded into the past. With the sale of alcohol now legal, many of the old breweries opened up and American life started to get back on track despite the Great Depression. Although with FDR's New Deal and the sale of liquor legal again, it should kickstart the economy and start to have a positive impact on America. The future of America was sealed with the repeal of Prohibition. Crime everywhere was reduced dramatically and a major pastime in American was restored. The trial and error that was Prohibition taught Americans that alcohol was a necessary evil. Alcohol is still prevalent in our society today and is seen as a social depressant. Americans feel the need to gather around a vice that has been here longer than they can remember, and Prohibition has secured that place in society forever.